Happy birthday to all out there that it's your birthday. It's your birthday.
It is.
Birthdays are good.
Significant amount of folks watching.
It might be your birthday. So happy birthday to you if it is. I think birthdays are cool. I don't get to see my wife on her birthday ever because I'm working at a music festival on that, but she actually
way more important.
It is. That's what we do. It's our job. Unfortunately, we're grown-ups. But she got to stop by because she was in Kentucky and she came back and she saw me on her way back home. So I got to see her for the night of her birthday and hang out for a bit. And she fell asleep. She was so tired. But that was a good birthday, just to see her birthday when you're. Happy birthday to my wife. That was a nice moment. Council Lady Person Taylor.
Council person.
Now, some news happened just the other night. There seems to be a lot of people getting attacked on stage. Comedians in particular. Sir Dave Chappelle was assaulted when he was doing a show. Somebody tried to tackle him, and that dude took the hit like a champ.
Dude, you showed me the video. It was, that guy was all in, man. He hit him hard with his shoulder, like a football tackle kind of thing.
And nothing seemed to happen to the perpetrator afterwards at all. Dude, that dude got pounded. Like his arms are like all sorts of things you see in movies where they're like pointing the wrong way. I was like, oh my God. It gets me sick. Anyway, just think about it. But this just led us to thinking about like, what are your expectations as both a performer and an audience member when you go to see a show of any type? Music in particular is what we deal with. But you know, we've had the issue with the Oscars with Will and Chris, and then this just happened right afterwards. It's been sort of a common thing in music where fans come up on stage, right? And rock stars. And they're usually handled pretty well.
Most of the time.
The James Maynard one's still my favorite. When he pretty much just teabags the guy for the duration of the song and straddles him and rides him like a broken horse. And the guy's trying to act like he's having fun, but Maynard's having none of it and just grinding him down. It was a very dominant. Or,
Keith Richards one's famous,
taking his telly off.
Just bam!
Slack!
Think about how much that would hurt. Like a hard swing with a fender.
He didn't connect hard with it.
He didn't.
It's sort of he just sort of pushed him aside while security could get him.
But you could crush someone's brain. Yeah, you could kill somebody. Crush their skull in.
Like super dead.
Yeah.
I've seen it with Oasis. You've seen it with tons of performers. It's sort of par and course for rock stardom.
Yeah.
Like people rush the stage, but it's usually because people want to get on stage and like touch you.
It's usually innocent, right? It's not usually like you're being tackled or punched or craziness.
It's not to assault you unless you're at Guns N' Roses show in the 90s and Axl Rose decides to dive on your face.
Then maybe.
Because he's upset about something. As an audience member, I don't expect that to happen either.
No.
I don't. But let's break down into some of the things. Let's talk about your shows. Like when you go to a show, like what are your expectations as a performer?
So
you've had some funny ones.
I've had some, for the most part, right? Like the stage is sort of my space. You know what I mean? Like I got pedals up there, I got equipment, I got guitars. It's
your living room.
In my brain, it's supposed to be a little bit sacred, right? Like not really because it's some weird esoteric thing that it's we can't tread there, but it's just I'm funny about people standing on my cables. And everyone always finds your cables when they walk up.
I don't like the beer on my cables.
I gotta hate that stuff.
It's just sticky town. But anyway.
There was this one time, and I was probably maybe over the line here a little bit, but one time playing in Nashville on Broadway, people would sit their drinks on the edge of the stage, right?
Oh, this is good.
I mean, and it would just get so nasty, right? Then like girls' purses and drinks, and they're just everywhere, and you can't get up to where you need to be. And one night, it was just like, bachelorette, frat, extravaganza, drinks everywhere. It's nasty. There's like getting to be a little puddle. And I was like, hey, could you guys please move your drinks? And I said that about 5 times. And finally, I just came up and with my boot just cleared the whole edge, kicked the whole thing off. Drinks everywhere.
Like that's probably at least $100 worth of drinks going down.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And purses all over. What was the reaction after you did that?
No one put their drinks there anymore. They were just like... Most of them were too drunk to even care or know, right?
Yeah, but a sober crowd might have been more upset, but I think that's pretty freaking funny.
It was pretty funny.
And
before you're like, there's drinks on the floor, people have to clean that up. You've obviously never been in a bar on Broadway. The floor is sticky. They're going to clean it up anyways. It's fine.
Well, and now let's reverse to like that same Broadway place. That my expectations as an audience or a patron of this place is I want to see some fun music have some drinks, be able to dance, maybe send some requests to you guys, give you a 20 spot, play a song for me.
I'm into that.
It's but I don't expect to put my drinks near your pedals.
Nope.
I don't expect to get anywhere near the microphone where I chip your teeth.
Oh, I've seen that happen too, man.
I've had it happen where I've gotten hit with microphones because of drunk people in the audience. Now it's different. We can jump ship a little bit. Let's go to my New York experiences when you're playing like sort of a hard rock show or something, or like a punk show or a pop punk. Right? There's an expectation of a rowdy audience in the front mosh area, and I want that, and you wanted that, and it's but you're also, you're aware of it, and when there's moments where you with your microphone, you're probably taking it off the mic stand if you're singing, so you have control over that entirely. And if you are singing background vocals, you're getting the hell away from it.
Right.
Near it. Guitar-wise, you're not taking a custom shop up there. I couldn't afford a custom shop in those days anyway. But you might have at your peak like an American like standard Pro, whatever you call them nowadays, Pro 35. If you're watching this video in the year 2050, we wish there's still YouTube videos in the year 2050.
I hope that's true. I hope that one day there's an American Pro 35.
Pro 35, 35th anniversary.
V-Mod, Mark 17. That'd be great.
The noiseless, the N68s.
They're sub-noiseless. That'd be like some weird new technology.
It just levitates. The pickups
just levitate.
No, you kind of expect a little bit of rambunctiousness. You expect people to get on stage sometimes. It's the opposite. Like you want them on stage so they can jump off and get like stage lifted across the thing, or to jump off and just fall. It's really funny to watch that from the stage as well.
I mean, that's not so different. Like we would call people on stage and have like, people dance and just. So I mean, there is that, right? There is this interaction. It's just sometimes the line gets fuzzy, right?
Now, what about at church?
Oh my Lord!
So you figure that's a sacred place? Like no one's going to touch your equipment, right?
No, I found the opposite to be true. Well, because it's like it is a good environment, right? And everybody feels like they're a part of it, which is a good thing. But the downside of it is people come up on the stage or the pulpit or whatever you want to call it, the spot, the platform, and kids often think they should turn all the knobs on your pedals, and sometimes parents think it's adorable, and you're like, oh,
God, the knobs
maybe it's not.
I would never be able to find my way back.
God. I mean,
I'd just be like, I'm over. That's it. I don't know how this pedal.
It's not a big deal if it's over, right? But it's just like, oh. I think a lot of people who are in that situation, they don't really have a reference of how much money some of your stuff costs.
That is a good point, because it doesn't. Well, I have a guitar. Well, they might have like an off-brand sort of Fender knockoff,
right?
And it was like it was $80. It's like, oh well, they don't realize the guitar you're playing is actually $250.
Almost $249.99. But I mean, and I've even had people like sometimes will be free with offering. For people who like, oh, I play guitar. Oh, you should go play Jonathan's guitar. No, you should not.
Or just touching the pedals, like that's something's a no-no in my book.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't like it when people will touch the settings on my amp.
Right.
Because I have it set a certain way. It takes me a while to get there, and I've been dialing it for a bit.
Dial it in.
I'm like, and I'll let people play through it because I like to share everything I have. It's fun, but and I'll always say, like, please don't touch the knobs. Inherently, they always do. Because I don't want to change the volume, and they don't realize what the actual volume is.
Right.
Because it's not like volume.
Because there's so many, like the gain staging on that amp is
we're
different.
talking about two rocks.
Yeah, man.
It's a little bit like a Mesa Boogie.
And I let all sorts of people play my guitar or plug in through my stuff, or I'm super cool with that. It's that funny, weird area, right? It is a tricky thing to navigate.
And then let's say we go to like a major show, because I'm going to take my kids to 2 major shows. My wife's going to 3 sort of in the next 6 months. Like we're going to go see the Lumineers.
Yep. We're
going to be in lawn seats. We're going to go see My Chemical Romance. I got seated seats on purpose because I'm taking children.
Right.
And I sort of expect there's going to be some, maybe not moshing, but some sort of aggressive jumping and getting into the music, which you should at My Chemical Romance.
You absolutely should.
Lumineers, not so much. It's not going to happen, but I want to sit on the lawn for them for that, so they can run around a bit, have fun, listen to the hippy dippy acoustic music. Where we are, I don't know where we are, and it will be okay, like stuff like that, and having fun, like watching my 3-year-old sing "Ho Hey" is hilarious because he can never quite time it right. Yeah, ho, hey, he does it right after.
Hey.
It's really funny. But and then we go.
That makes me happy.
And that's gonna be a safe, fun, happy environment. Then we'll go see My Chemical Romance. I think it'll be safe too. We'll be in the seats. Hopefully the kids can see it. I don't want to put them on the shoulders. I don't want to piss people off behind me. But I would like for them to be able to see some of the show. but then my wife's going to go see Bush too. I think somewhere in South Carolina again when they come through, and that's like sort of a fun. Like it can get a little rowdy down in the front areas, but mostly people are just chill. They're mostly in their 30s and 40s that go to see Bush. Yeah. There's not a ton of like teenagers, unless it's the kids of the fans, which is happening, which is neat to see. But I expect, you know, I buy tickets accordingly to where I think is going to be a good viewing experience for my family, affordable if I can too, and my group I'm with, but also safe. And I'm not going to rush the stage.
I was going to say, are you planning on, you know, rushing the stage?
For the Lumineers, yes, I'm going to rush the stage. And if they say something that I find at all offensive,
bam, you're up there.
It's my right.
In your face, bro.
To smash them. Yeah. And I should not have to suffer any consequences for that. Because somebody offends me or insults my pride, and I'm going to hurt you. That's not true.
Too much Northman for you.
Yeah, Northman got me.
Darn it.
They don't even care about that. They do. They just kill you. There's no. There's kids there. Just kill them. Kill all the kids. It's fine. We don't need those. We need the female ones. We'll keep those. But yeah, that's the Northman for you. Movie I saw a few nights ago. Yeah. But yeah, so I think there still should be etiquette.
Yeah, man. There's etiquette. Well, and it's obviously, like we've discussed, the etiquette might be slightly different depending on the show you're at, where you're at, and what role you're in there, right?
But and then like jumping back to where we started with stand-up comedy, which I consider a performing art.
Yes. There's
no point where you should ever leave your seat and get on that stage.
Nope.
It's even if you find what they're saying offensive and destructive, you know, talk about it somewhere else. Don't pay money to see this ticket. You know, choose to go elsewhere with your funds, your time. If you're doing it as a protest, that's interesting. I think you should suffer, you know, some pretty big consequences though if you decide to make this a thing about what you think and not about the people that are there to enjoy the show.
Yeah, and you can't just go around smashing people.
You can't. There's consequences, legally and physically.
Obviously for this dude with Dave Chappelle, right? How do you feel about hecklers at stand-up?
It's tricky. Like some comedians. There's one like Thomas Hofstadter. I can't remember his name. I used to watch it. I love him. He just destroys hecklers. Yeah, he's great at it. I do love watching hecklers get wrecked. Like Jimmy Carr is a heckler, just annihilator. But I think, you know, you go back to some of the great comics. Like hecklers do mess up the flow. Yes. Like because comedy's all about timing, and if you're sitting there blurting out drunk things in the middle of it, and most comedians are not performing at Dave Chappelle and his level and, you know, Bill Burr's and whatnot. They're playing at small clubs with 100 people in the room, drinking. You know, and most people that go see comedy shows aren't going to go see a particular artist usually. They're like, oh, let's go see a comedy show.
It's comedy night, yeah.
It's like, they're like, oh, who's playing?
Or there's a comedy club and you just buy tickets for whatever.
No, I'm a true fan of comedy. I think it's one of the hardest art forms to be good at.
It really, I mean, just you at a microphone
and if you're not making people laugh, you're not good. It's that simple. Like if you don't like somebody's song, you're like, I don't like that song. It's not my jam. But if you're doing comedy and you're bombing, and they bomb. Even the best bomb. I mean, Burr's bomb, Chappelle's bomb, Rogan's bombed, all those guys. But they're up there like sweating bullets, trying to make you laugh. I'd say you respect it. I would never heckle because I know how hard it is what they're doing.
But yeah, no, right. I have a lot of. Yeah.
And they're professionals with a microphone. They know how to destroy me. I don't know how to beat them. That's like, you know, it's like trying to like out jam somebody when you're a complete rube at guitar. Like, and that just can't happen anyway. It's not like you can't have a jam guitar and like an amp in the audience. It doesn't work.
Wouldn't that be funny? Like the Wild West, people would show up with their amps in the audience just waiting on some weakness and challenge you. I mean, that would almost be fun.
That would be fun.
I'd be like, all right, cool. Let's see what tonight holds. But yeah.
Wild stallions.
It'd be almost fun to lose in that situation.
No, I think.
Like Jesus.
No, there's no point where you are in almost any performing art, even in punk music, you're not allowed to rush the stage and try to tackle the singer. You know, they're there to perform for you. It's an entertainment. There is rambunctiousness that's allowed in a lot of these audience participation moments, but that is when you've stepped the line. And you will suffer the full consequences of most likely a severe beatdown. Which sounds horrible. So let us know your thoughts on that. And gosh, yeah, that's all I got really. Anything else, Jay? Rob?
I would just like to call out one time, very quickly.
Uh-oh.
One time in Louisiana, a little man stood he was very short, he stood tiptoey on our stage in front of the singer's face, like in front of the microphone, doing this and calling our drummer, who was a male, June Carter Cash, and it was maybe the funniest thing I've ever experienced. He's like, your effing drummer's June Carter Cash. How about that, bitches? June Carter Cash. And we were like, okay. I don't know. I don't understand. It was because our singer would not stop singing to sell him a CD in the middle of his song / show.
I think that's a great moment. I'm glad that it locked in your brain.
I was just like, it would be wrong of me not to share this. But anyway, there you go. Hit like, hit subscribe, click the bell.
Good night. Fare thee well. Blessings to you all.
Goodbye.
Oh, Lord.
June Carter Cash.